My name is Wanda Guzman. I'm the Community Engagement Program Manager with Hands on Hartford, and I have the pleasure of overseeing or helping to oversee the Faces of Homelessness Speakers Bureau. And this program is super important because it provides a voice. We can go out there and work with people and teach them about hunger, teach them about homelessness, but what better way to learn from about these issues than from the people who have actually experienced them. So this is one of our most important educational programs, and we encourage you to support, to listen, and to learn.
Hi,
my name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
My name is Jacob Dudzik, and I experienced homelessness twice during my life, one as a late teenager and another in my mid-30s. My story through homelessness really is rooted in mental health issues and addiction. Both times I was homeless, those are the two issues that brought me to homelessness. So there are a lot of different reasons why different people become homeless. That's my story. Those two things are what I share to people. And I particularly enjoy sharing those things with people, especially young people, because I like to bring awareness to young people about kind of the red flags to watch out for as they're growing older, as they're experimenting with drugs and alcohol, as they might be feeling depression, they might be have anxiety, they might be cutting, they might feel shame about those issues and want to keep them inside and not tell anybody. And when I go and I speak to kids like that, I like to let them know my story about what I went through in terms of all of those things. And give them hope that they can fully recover from them, that in this day of age, it's not like it was, back in the late 90s when I was first homeless. The public awareness campaigns that have been reaching out to especially kids on these issues have made a lot of headway, but there still is stigma there in terms of mental health issues, particularly, and addiction. That's what I tell these kids, is that if they do feel ashamed, if they feel trapped inside, like I did, when I was their age, that they just need to find somebody close to them, whether it be a teacher, whether it be a parent, a close friend, a guidance counselor, whoever it may be, that they just need to tell somebody, and that will set them on the path for healing. That they don't have to deal with these issues. They don't have to suffer with these issues. There's so much help out there these days that they just need to tell somebody and get that ball rolling. And they could live a great life and find peace and happiness and not have to go through the type of suffering that a lot of homeless people go through, because those core underlying issues were never dealt with when they were younger.
My name is Andrea Mosquita, and my family and I, my 3 children, have been homeless since June 17, 2018. During the time which we were homeless, we have been through 2 different shelters, through approximately 6 or 7 different towns, 4 or 5 different hotels. Being homeless is not always what you see on the street. There are similarities, but there are differences. Being homeless doesn't always look the same. Being homeless is isolated. It's separating you from your peers, from family. It comes with great shame. No one who is homeless wants to be homeless. We're people just like every and anyone else. What separates us is that at night we sometimes do not know where we will sleep. We go to bed at night with worry. For those of us, my children, there are sleepless nights filled with guilt, nights where I told myself, go to bed, you need rest, you have to be at work in the morning. But there's some nights that you can get through it and some nights which you cannot. Because being homeless means you worry about what happens to your children. Being homeless means you worry about, will they get through with this? Will it break them? Will people find out? Will they be ostracized? Will they think less of? When will we find a home? I have never thought of being homeless as a gift. But being in the state, one thing it has clarified for me and my family is that there is a God and our faith is stronger. What has kept us and made us not broken is the love of God and our faith. Through all the towns, our church has been with us. I would say churches have been with us. First Cathedral, our church home, and New Testament Church of God in East Hartford, who came every Monday to visit us, to visit the children, to encourage us, to donate their time, and to give their love. Being homeless doesn't mean we're less than. It means we don't have a home to go to. But we are people. We have hopes. We have dreams. We are not all alike. We don't look alike. We come in different races. Being homeless doesn't mean you're on drugs. It could be. I often tell people my only drug has been maybe at different times Haagen-Dazs, but a pecan ice cream. I've never smoked a cigarette in my entire life. I've always remembered when I was a little girl, my dad told me never be poor because poverty is a crime, and I always thought that is so cynical. What do you mean poverty is a crime? You commit no crime, you're just poor. But being homeless, I do understand, because there are times you feel like criminal, like what you've done is it's reprehensible, that there is the way between now and out, the way between now and where you find your home is taken forever. And when I go to bed at night, often, and I see my children, I look at them, and knowing that they did not do anything to deserve this, it's when the guilt kicks in. It's when remorse, it's when regret kicks in. I'm college educated. I listen to my mom. I put the books before the boys. I've worked with families. I volunteered. We get up. This past summer, we were homeless, and I got up. I went to work. The children, they came with me at times. They did approximately 40 hours of volunteer work. It has not changed who we are, but it has changed my perception of life, in that I don't take things for granted. I don't take coming home on a cold winter's day and mixing hot chocolate with marshmallows. I don't take it for granted when my daughter says, "Hi, Minetta. Mommy, I want shepherd's pie for dinner." I don't take it for granted when on Saturdays we would cook Grandma's Saturday soup. My mom has passed away, and that's something that we've held on to every Saturday. But we've not had Grandma's Saturday soup since the Saturday before our last home. Being homeless is isolated. We're seen, but we're not seen. Being homeless is invisible. You get up, I get up each morning. Sometimes on my worst morning, I'd wear red lipstick. I put it on, so whatever I face, as my mom used to say, whatever you're facing, you should never look like. So I don't want to look like what being homeless is supposed to be, or someone's idea. The red lipstick or putting on my pearls is a way of saying I'm still who I am. I'm still the same person who gets up in the morning, likes to have her kids ready for school. I'm still the person with the same value system. I'm still the person who loves. I'm still the person who looks to others with kindness and appreciation for life every single day. For the longest time, I had great shame. I had never seen myself as someone who would become homeless. And for the longest, not intentionally, but I was a slave to that fear. But I'm doing this because I want others to know that being homeless is sometimes, it happens. It happens to the best of us, if there is such thing. And there might be something that we could have done or could not have done, but what matters is going forward. And in deciding not to be a slave to my fears of ridicule, not being a slave to shame, oh my God, what would my college mate think? What would my family think? I've decided not necessarily to embrace it, because this is not someone anyone wants, wish or hopes to embrace, but to face it head on. There are family members who do not know, most do not, maybe one, know that I'm homeless. And so for months, I felt the need to say something, to talk about it, but it was always, well, I'll wait until I get my another job. I'll wait until we have a house. I'll wait until we're in an apartment. I'll wait until the kids are fine. I'll wait until I've lost 10 pounds or I've gone back to the weight I was before I was homeless. You know, some Zumba, some good feeling, better clothes, better house, better everything. But one thing I've learned, that the time is always now. And so I'm living in the now, and I hope to teach my children that you are not your situation, and that regardless of what monies you have, what house you have or do not have, at the end of the day, you are your integrity. You are the person you are, stripped naked of everything. You are who you are when no one knows, no one cares, and no one is watching. And I thank God for that. That's the takeaway, and that's the thankfulness that I have, that I know who I am, and I know that I'll rise above this. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I live in Bristol. A few years ago, I became homeless for a short period of time, and I never thought that I would. I never thought that would happen to me. I started working when I was 7 years old. I'm a college graduate. I have 2 children and 4 grandchildren. And I never envisioned that I'd take the journey that I did, but I got hurt at work in 2010, and I sort of fell through the cracks because I was also terminated because I was hurt. So I wasn't collecting unemployment or workman's comp, and I wound up being evicted because I didn't have any income coming in. And me being what I consider to be a semi-intelligent person had a very rough time navigating the system and trying to find assistance and trying to find a way out of the situation I lost the apartment I was renting, and I had to call a senator's office. I had to get a United States senator to intervene on my behalf to finally settle what had been a arduous journey of 6 months of trying to either collect unemployment or workman's comp. So I decided in that moment that I'd become an advocate for the homeless. Not only do I have a story to tell, but I also want to help bring about change and knock down the walls and stigma that are associated with homelessness. What I ask a lot of people a lot of times, what does a homeless person look to you? Well, you're looking at someone that was homeless. We're all normal people. We're all human beings. We're all somebody's brother, mother, sister, father, aunt, uncle. We all came from families. We all had dreams and aspirations. So because of what had happened to me, I wanted to make sure that it would be easier for the people that are out on the street to try to get help, because it's very hard to try to find a home and try to get yourself established once you are homeless. I found this out through my journey. So my being a part of the Speakers Bureau, I'm the last original member. When we started this 6 years ago, we used to talk about not having a need to have this bureau exist, but what I'm seeing is more and more people with a stigma about what homeless people are. And most of the population I've come across, I've advocated for them. I've been to the state capitol, I've been to the state assembly. We've gone on what we call Lobby Day, trying to make sure that there's money put in for affordable housing, that programs and services that are vitally needed are kept alive, and I will continue to do that. So I'm proud to be a member of the Faces of Homelessness Speakers Bureau, but I'm also proud of the work that we do, traveling across the state and trying to break down the stigma of what homelessness is, because it happened to me, it can happen to anyone.
The homelessness that I experienced throughout a period of 10 years, and I had maybe about 10 to 12 different addresses, was more so because I didn't fit into a criteria of someone who needed help. It's called gray area homelessness. So in other words, I either made too much income, too little income, I didn't have Section 8, I didn't live in low-income housing, I didn't have a mental health issue, I wasn't on drugs, and I didn't have HIV/AIDS. So therefore, I didn't qualify as someone who needed assistance in dealing with my chronic homelessness. I also experienced this with my 2 children who were also affected by the experience themselves. They felt like they didn't have much of a childhood because we moved around a lot, so we didn't really get to plant roots. Right now, I am in a place of stability, thanks to the help of Dr. Raul Pino. He was the Health and Human Services Executive Director with the City of Hartford, and also with Hispanic Health Council, who helps me with the security deposit. And I am now in the same place that I've been in for 6 years. And my children and I both have a sense of normalcy at this point. I want to bring awareness to those people that are working in school, doing all the things that they deem is correct, but just need a leg up, just to bring awareness that those people are out there and those people also need help. We may not check off in those criteria, but we are still out there. We need the assistance, and we are doing all that we can with the high living costs and high food costs and things of that sort to be able to balance everything at the same time. And I would like to see more programs dedicated to helping these people that are in the middle, such as myself.
name is J. Stan McCauley, and I do business as Light Source Productions. I provide professional services in the area of strategic video communications. First, what we do is we help you craft your message using what I call the rule of the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. We do event documentation, content acquisition, full-scale productions, editing, and of course distribution through our social media television network. And with social media, video is more important now than it has ever been. Whether you're talking big business, small business, nonprofit, church, or just an individual. Let's say you plan you're planning an event, a wedding, whatever the case may be, but let's say a big event, but no video. And you spent all this time, all these hours to put this event on, and maybe 100, 200 people attend the event. But more important than that is that thousands could attend by watching it on social media. But of course, you don't think about this until after the event is over. You can't afford not to capture it for social media. And despite what people think, I am affordable. Give me a call. Let's plan your next video project and share it with the world on my social media television network. I promise you that you will have the attention of one person, me.